Welcome to the Green Wave Coaches Show with Gallatin football head coach Michael Stroup and Gallatin News sports editor Blaine Kellar. The Green Wave Coaches Show is brought to you by Tennessee Ace Hardware. Football season is grilling season, so stop by Tennessee Ace Hardware today and check out their large selection of Big Green Egg grills. Also brought to you by Double Dogs, Sumner County's favorite sports bar. Dairy Berries Heating and Air. Dairy Berries has been voted Sumner County's best heating and air service for the past 9 years. For outstanding service, give them a call today. And finally, by Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now here are Coach Michael Stroup and Blaine Kellar.
Back for episode 3 of the Green Wave Coaches Show, brought to you by Double Dogs, Dairy Berries Heat and Air, and Tennessee Ace Hardware. Sumner County Sports Editor Blaine Kellar here with Gallatin football coach Michael Stroup. Coach Stroup, took me a year to get our ad read right, but glad to finally have all that in there with you on episode 3 of our second season of the Green Wave Coaches Show.
Well, congratulations.
Well, here we are breaking down the third game of Gallatin's football season, the 27-0 loss in the Region 4 6A opener at Mount Juliet. Coach, to start, just wondering your general thoughts from that one, how you've kind of processed that over the weekend.
Well, I don't know how you process it. If it went bad, it went bad. I wasn't expecting the rain, and the rain came in, and then it just sat on top of us. And it wasn't a light rain, it was a heavy rain. And, they had to play in the same elements too. We've just got to do a better job of securing the football and not turn it over, and we can't be so mentally weak when adversity strikes. The rain came in, and instead of us doing our normal thing, we let other things bother us or get to us, and it messed us up a little bit, some of our kids. So they got to be a little bit stronger willed than that. We worked on that this week.
Coach, it seemed like it was tough sledding from the start for Gallatin, bobbling that opening kick and not being able to recover. Just how hard is it to recover from a start like that on the very first play of the game?
There's numerous things that went wrong on that. It was a return right, and the young man went left, and then when he went left, he fumbled the ball. So two bads there, and we had to start defensive on the short end, and then the next series we get the ball. We held them to a field goal, which was good. Then we get the ball on the opening kickoff, which we didn't catch. I don't know if we caught a kickoff all night. And then on the second play, it deflects off a receiver's chest and into the hands of a defensive player from Mount Juliet. So there we are with our second turnover. I told somebody the other day, I said if it had been a game of dodgeball, I think all our receivers would have been out because all of them got hit right in the chest with the ball and they just didn't catch it. So, we got to be mentally tougher, and I don't care what the elements are. We just got to be able to execute, and we did not do a good job of that in the receiver department. I thought the offensive line, for the most part, did a really nice job. We've got to be able to run the football in there and get 4-6 yards at a time, and we had a little trouble doing that with the running backs, and we got to get healthy. I mean, we've got some guys that are banged up, and we've got to get healthy in that regard too. But again, those are all excuses, and we've just got to do a better job.
You mentioned running backs. Jaden Hoskins came back from an ankle sprain 2 weeks ago against Station Camp. Had run in the first quarter. Did he re-injure the ankle or just kind of maybe a little hobbled after that run? I believe he didn't show up again until the second half for a run play for you guys. Yeah,
he's still tender there, and he wanted to give it a go. And, at that point, we were just looking for a spark anywhere. So he got in there and made a cut, and, it bothered him. He got in there and got it spatted up, and we got him back in there the second half a little bit. But, every kid wants to get in there and contribute and help the team win, and he's no different. Just getting them to understand, hey, there's going to be more games down the road. It's a marathon, not a race. Getting kids to understand that is sometimes harder. So, he's been out practicing this week. He's still a little tender. He's still trying to lobby for getting a game. But, that's going to be on me and whether I see that he's healthy enough to get there. We've worked a number of running backs back there this week. We've put Nehemiah back there, and we've stuck Malachi Harper back there. And we'll get Legarius Humphrey some reps back here, Cage. So, we're getting all those guys as much reps as possible, but, to be ready.
And moving some of those guys you mentioned, like Legarius and Nehemiah, primarily playing different positions to start the season. Nehemiah safety, and then Legarius primarily receiver.
Yeah.
How do you transition them into maybe a different role whenever you're kind of shorthanded at that spot?
Well, I think they're, for the most part, those two have played running back in the past. Legarius has gotten plenty of reps back there in the preseason and at practice, but Nehemiah was our second or third string going into the season, but him being a defensive player primarily kind of halted him from being able to get any reps during the game on Friday nights. But we've kind of restructured some things so he can get over there on offense and get a lot more carries. So again, ball security, hold on to the ball, and be able to receive a pass this week. And it's going to rain again, and but I think this time we'll be a little bit more prepared as far as mentally for it because they know it's coming. And we'll do some wet ball drills out here today, and try to get better in that regard.
Against Station Camp, Gallatin had 0 turnovers and 42 points. You guys scored no points against Mount Joy. You had 5 turnovers, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
How does that kind of change happen in just a week's span where you go from really protecting the ball well to maybe coughing it up a lot more than you thought you would the next week?
Well, obviously the weather played a hand in that. I think the 2 interceptions, one was off the chest of a receiver, one was off the face of a receiver. So, it's not like they're sailed over there. And then the fumbles were just lack of ball security. We had one quarterback fumbled. He just threw it out of his hands. And then the other one, a receiver coming across on a shallow route and, just fumbles it out on contact. So we got to do a better job of teeing up the ball. Protecting that thing, and just reminding those guys, whether it's wet or dry, we've got to protect that football and do a better job, and we focused on that yesterday.
Like you said, this week's game coming up will likely be a wet one like last week's game.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at what you guys maybe didn't do right in that weather, on the other side, what was Mount Juliet able to do well in that weather as well?
Well, first of all, we spotted them 17 points. So, when you got 2 turnovers, they're quick, and then, they go up 17-0 in the first quarter. I thought defensively we played a pretty well game, except for there on the, I think they were going to do a quarterback sneak, and then the quarterback kind of took it around the end. Very good play on his part. Terrible play on ours. So, you got to tip your hat at that one. And then the last drive of the game, I thought our guys for the first time in a long time that I saw them just kind of, check out a little bit, and we talked about that after the game. But, you get them in there after the game, and, that's not a time to, browbeat them or anything. You just tell them how much you love them, and, we just got to get better. And, a lot of soul searching, a lot of looking in the mirror, and just getting better at the things we messed up on.
Gallatin fell to 1-2 with the loss, 0-1 in region play. Coach, I looked back and I wanted to get your reaction on this. The last time you were shut out in a game, 2018 with USJ against Haywood. That's 5 years of football without a shutout.
Yeah.
How do you kind of react to that?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you bringing that up. I think after I talked to the team, I got on the bus and just kind of sat there by myself for about 20 minutes, kind of gather my thoughts and what I just witnessed. But yeah, that came back to me pretty quick, the Haywood thing, and and it was similar. You know, I mean, it was similar, but not similar. You know, we just got we're better than what we showed Friday, and but we're young. And we're going to make mistakes, and but we've just got to correct them and coach our rear ends off, do a better job of coaching, and the players have got to do a better job of playing.
You take pride in scoring points, I'm sure. You know, when you have a stretch like that, when you go that long without, you know, maybe a wouldn't call it a dud of an offensive game, but one where
I would call it a dud. I would definitely call it a dud in an offensive game.
How do you bounce back from that as a coaching staff? You kind of mentioned it there, but as players as well, how do you bounce back from a performance like that?
You just got to, you get back into practice and execute and focus on. You got to focus on the little things. And we talked about that Monday morning with our captains and our leadership council. It's the little things you've got to focus on, and a lot of these kids don't understand, and a lot of people don't really understand. You know, it's the little things that get you through life. It's not the big things, and it's how you prepare for practice. It's how you keep your locker. It's how being on time for a drill, being on time for class. And those things lead to discipline, and we've got to do a better job of being attentive and not taking things for granted. And I think we took that for granted Friday. I took for granted it was going to be dry, and it rained, and I thought we weren't prepared for that, and that's on us. And but we'll be prepared this go around, and hopefully better outcome.
Gallatin's next game at the end of this week against Dickson County. Again, weather kind of leaving that game, the start time up in the air. We'll get to that in a second. Preview this next game coming up on the Green Wave Coaches Show.
Football season is grilling season. The Big Green Egg is the perfect grill for everyone. From the backyard cook to the world's most acclaimed chefs. Stop at Tennessee Ace Hardware today and check out our large selection of Big Green Egg grills. It's the perfect grill for any grilling need.
Toby knows comfort, whether day or night. Through the highs and the lows, Toby knows. You've put it off long enough. That old system is just out with the old, in with the new. We'll make it worthwhile all the way through. Derryberry is your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Visit DerryberryAC.com today and schedule a visit. Derryberry Heat and Air, making customers for life.
Back on the Green Wave Coaches Show, getting ready to preview Gallatin's second game as it tries to, hoping to try to get your second win, I should say, against Dickson County. Coach, just kind of looking at the Cougars overall, a good opportunity for your guys to maybe prove that the sky isn't falling with a couple of losses to start the year.
Yeah, you look ahead and you look at Dickson County, and they're 3-5-3 on defense, and they bring a lot of pressure and really get to the football. Offensively, they're kind of a vegetable soup of offense. They may be in flex bone, they may be in spread, or they may be in 20 personnel. So, it'll be a challenge for us, and they're historically a good program. and got a lot of respect for those guys and what Coach Thomason does over there.
How much are you talking to your guys about starting maybe to stack some wins with this one as you hit kind of the middle of your season here? The schedule last year showed that you were able to stack some wins, pick up some wins, start a streak. Are you talking to your guys about that at all again?
No, we're just talking about winning this week. Just do what we got to do to win this week and make sure we're, again, securing the football and getting off the field on third downs. I thought we did a good job of that 2 weeks ago, and we just we've got to carry on that. And if you don't turn the ball over, you usually win. Now, if you do turn the ball over, and especially if we've turned it over, I think a total of 8 times in 2 games or 3 games. You lose. So we've just got to do a better job of protecting football, staying on.
Yeah, you mentioned in the first segment some wet ball drills that you guys are probably going to be doing on practice today.
Yeah.
What else do you do in the receiver game and the quarterback game to make sure that you don't turn it over there?
Well, I mean, if you just go back to Friday night and you check the film out, I mean it's just catching a football, and you got to. In a rain game, you just kind of got to slow your roll a little bit and make sure you secure the ball before you try to go catch it. And again, you can't be worried about contact and all this other stuff. And we just got to do a better job at receiver and do their job, which is to receive the ball, not drop the ball, or they'd call them a bunch of droppers instead of receivers. So we got to do that.
Friday night will be a fun one for Gallatin, also for Union High School, throwback game for the Green Wave as they turn into the Red Devils, honoring Sumner County's black high school high school for black students during the segregation era.
Oh, we're gonna move that.
That's moved.
Yeah,
wow.
breaking news right here. You've heard it here first
wow.
on the Blaine Kellar show. Yeah, it's so we'll move that game to the Wilson Central. We want people to be a part of it, and with the weather coming in, we figured that it'd be hard to do that because a lot of people don't want to come to a rain game, and so we've decided as of this morning we're going to push that back to Wilson Central.
Wow, Coach, I've got a whole list of questions here on Union High School and that whole process.
You can put those in your pocket.
We'll save it for a couple of weeks from now. But you mentioned the weather, just how that kind of process is looking right now and where you guys might end up landing. Some teams in the mid-state already moving to Thursday night.
Yeah, we're looking at all the possibilities. I've been on the phone with Ken Wilder this morning, been on the phone with Bree Smith at Channel 5, a meteorologist out in Nashville somewhere, and then but it's gonna be bad wet either night. So we're weighing our options. We'll probably know a little bit more after this show what we're gonna do.
Is that something typically coaches get to do? Talk to news channel meteorologists about what the weather looks like? Do you have a connection to Bree Smith somehow?
I mean, is that big? Is that important?
I've never heard of a football coach getting to ring up a meteorologist and ask them what things are looking like. Ken
set all that up. I ain't got her number, but I can get it for you. You want it?
That might help me figure out what the schedule is on Friday.
Right.
Coach, looking at things offensively, things defensively for you guys against Dixon County, I believe you went 0 for 10 in third down conversions against Mount Juliet.
Again, thanks. Yep, appreciate it.
How do you correct that? Does that just go back to the trying to make sure you secure the ball on those passing plays? Or?
I mean, I think you just gotta be able to get first downs. It's just again the weather and we just got to be able to get first downs, and in the situations we were in, we dropped 3 passes. I thought 3 passes on first down on third down conversions. We just got to be able to convert, and we did a lousy job Friday night of everything. Yeah.
Some coaches would maybe go back to the drawing board a little bit, but I feel like at this point of the year, you probably want to keep things as similar. I mean, you don't want to make any major changes, despite being 1-2. Am I right in saying that?
What do you mean, X's and O's wise?
Well, I mean, however you view that as major changes. Is that X's and O's? Is that,
Well, I mean,
you did mention, changing some guys around in
I think personnel you look at, but as far as X's and O's, I mean, the system works. It's proven. You just gotta, you just gotta get the right guys in the right places, and sometimes that takes a while. And right now we're beat up in a couple spots, and we just got to be able to overcome and do a better job. And the kids have got to do a better job, and the coaches got to do a better job. It kind of falls on everybody's responsibility. But when you go out there and you passed for 2,500 yards last year, and you rush for another 1,700 yards. It's not the offense. It's just we got to. You lose a Zakiam Brinkley, or you lose a LaDamian McMurray. Those things kind of tend to hurt you a little bit. So a Mason Duke and a Carter Myers on offense. That we just got to find guys that would step up and want to help out a little bit more.
Talked a little bit about Jaden Hoskins in that first segment. Do you know what his status might be for Friday?
It's probable, as the NFL would say, probable. He's on the probable list. Not telling you that, Blaine.
Talk about maybe the confidence that you have, despite maybe, as you mentioned, losing a couple of guys on that offensive and defensive line, that as a unit you felt really strongly about in the preseason. Just how can they find a way to anchor anchor things as you continue to filter through personnel and find the right pieces to this puzzle?
On the defensive line?
Offensive line.
Offensive line. They've gotten better and better every week. And again, when as the game ended, my mind was going 100 miles an hour, and anybody that's ever coached on a competitive level, that tends to happen, and you just got to press pause until you watch the film, and then we popped the film on, and we watched the offensive line, and they missed some assignments and they missed some things here and there, but as far as the effort and if I criticize them for anything, it's just stay on your blocks longer. But they're going the right direction. They're giving the effort there. They just got to finish out the play, and that's been a point of emphasis this week.
I think you're going to say thanks to me one more time for bringing this one up, but you did bring up the defense a second ago. Mount Juliet, I think, had 2 100-yard rushers on Friday night.
Yeah.
Any corrections you see on the running game defensively in the trenches, trying to limit those runs?
Well, I think most of those yards came probably in the fourth quarter. And up till then, I thought the defense played well. They just stayed out there too dang long. Yeah. Offensively, we got to be able to keep the ball and keep the defense off the field, and that just didn't come into play Friday night. So offensively, we can move the ball and keep the defense off the field. It's hard for running backs from another team to get 200 yards when they're standing over on the sideline. But if they're out there and we're not doing our job offensively, then the defense can get tired, and I think fourth quarter kind of showed that a little bit.
It'll be the Green Wave and not yet the Union Red Devils on Friday night. Just to clarify, that Union throwback game now moved to Wilson Central. The Wilson Central game a couple of weeks down the road. Gallatin, Dixon County on Friday night. Stay tuned on the Green Wave Coaches Show for one fun question with Coach Michael Stroup.
Football season is grilling season. The Big Green Egg is the perfect grill for everyone, from the backyard cook to the world's most acclaimed chefs. Stop at Tennessee Ace Hardware today and check out our large selection of Big Green Egg grills. It's the perfect grill for any grilling need.
Toby knows comfort, whether day or night. Through the highs and the lows, Toby knows. You've put it off long enough. That old system is just out with the old, in with the new. We'll make it worthwhile all the way through. Derryberry is your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Visit DerryberryAC.com today and schedule a visit. Derryberry Heat and Air, making customers for life.
Time for one fun question with Coach Michael Stroup here on the Green Wave Coaches Show. Coach Stroup, Jordan Mason really showed out for Gallatin last night in his first NFL start. 28 carries, 147 yards, and a touchdown in San Francisco's win over the Jets. I know you didn't coach JP Ponchez, I believe is his nickname, but you've had some experiences in coaching some guys at the high school level that had success at the NFL level. What's that experience like, seeing those guys contribute at the highest level?
You're just happy for those guys and knowing, see them develop as high school guys or even middle school guys up through the program, and then them going off to college and having successful seasons in college, and then having an opportunity on the NFL stage. You're just happy for those guys because you know how hard they work, and you know what sacrifices. Normally a lot of people don't know the sacrifices that those guys make or their families make for them to do that. So yeah, proud of Jordan. I know the whole town of Gallatin was on social media last night giving him praises. I know he's probably catching a little grief this morning about making a statement about learning out when he was going to play or something. That
was a big deal.
Well, I think San Francisco's PR probably should have done a better job preparing him for that. If he was going to get asked that question, I'm sure PR people know what questions are going to be asked, and Jordan's probably not used to talking to the media a bunch after a game, and I kind of blame the Niners on that one.
Is it Ryan Miller, one of those guys for Tampa Bay that you got to coach?
Yeah, Ryan is Ryan's currently on the practice squad. He had a heck of a preseason with them, and he got to play I think 2 games last year due to injury, and but practice squad player ain't bad money either. So he's done a heck of a job. He's developed into a heck of a football player. And, proud for Ryan.
Who knows, maybe another one of these Gallatin Green Wave one day will make it to that highest level, knock on wood. Yeah. But that's all we got from the Green Wave Coaches Show here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And on behalf of Main Street Media Television, we'll see you back here next week.
You've been watching the Green Wave Coaches Show with Gallatin football head coach Michael Stroup and Gallatin News sports editor Blaine Kellar. The Green Wave Coaches Show is brought to you by Tennessee Ace Hardware, Double Dogs, Derryberry's Heating and Air, and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Football season is grilling season. The Big Green Egg is the perfect grill for everyone. From the backyard cook to the world's most acclaimed chefs. Stop at Tennessee Ace Hardware today and check out our large selection of Big Green Egg grills. It's the perfect grill for any grilling need.
Toby knows comfort, whether day or night. Through the highs and the lows, Toby knows. You've put it off long enough. That old system is just out with the old, in with the new. We'll make it worthwhile all the way through. Derryberry is your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Visit DerryberryAC.com today and schedule a visit. Derryberry Heat and Air, making customers for life.